You're tuned in to Just One Hot Mom with host Nanika Ansari. Get ready. She's about to bring you that fire, that flavor, that heat, all that passion, and more from around the world and in your neighborhood. Stay tuned.
Howdy, you are tuned in to Just One Hot Mom. I am your host, Nanika Ansari, and today I have my good sister girlfriend, Miss Valencia Joy. She's going to stay in her joy because God told her she could. Hey, V. Nothing much. You guys, if you don't know, I absolutely adore having conversations with Valencia because I know I'm going to laugh, I'm going to cry, I'm going to eat, I'm going to enjoy myself, and I'm just going to breathe the life of fresh air because that's the relationship we have. But my homegirl done wrote a book and making sure that you can have that relationship with your friends too. I love the title, I Met a Guy, and other things you can only discuss with your sister girlfriends. Yeah. Introduce yourself and tell the people who you are.
Well, my name is Valencia Joy. I call myself your favorite sister girlfriend authoress because I did write a book. It has been published, and I feel like I like to cultivate this sister girlfriendship relationship, and I feel like it really went through in my writing. Like when people read the book, they really feel like we was just sitting on the couch talking for an hour or, you know, at girls' night out talking. And that's how I wanted to come across to my audience. So that's me in a nutshell. I mean, I'm a single mom, 2 boys, one grown, one almost grown. So now we're all in this transition of what happens next, you know, because I'm not mom in the way that I have been for so many years. So I'm figuring out now, Valencia, at this age and stage, and they're figuring out life, you know, as you know, late teenagers and graduating high school and starting college and all that. So we're all in transition and we're all trying to figure it out. I'm a writer, been a writer all my life. I'm thankful to be published, didn't know that it could be a realized dream for me. So I'm totally thankful for the opportunity and just asking God to open more doors in that area.
Amen. And we sending up those prayers for you, sister girlfriend.
And I'm single. So if y'all have any brothers that are 40 and over, chocolate, fine, got a job, love his mama, love Jesus, shoot them my way.
Right, plug it all in. I'm just gonna tell you, like I tell everybody else, that adult parenting is next level. You be thinking like, oh, they'll be free, they can do these things. No, all it does is it levels up your game. You got to be like, y'all still got these questions. Yeah, this is where we are. All right, y'all. So I told B we was gonna have some sister girl conversation, and I think you hotties deserve some sister girl conversation. I'm gonna do some little stuff. This is not for kids. Just gonna tell y'all that right now. This is not your family show today.
No.
Okay, so you mentioned in your book, like growing up without sister, you know, with a sister and stuff like that, that it was difficult for you in the beginning to cultivate female relationships. What was it like with your mother and your aunties and your other cousins? Like, what made you want to have like that sisterhood versus just the relationship you would have with the other females in your family?
Yeah, so it wasn't difficult for me to cultivate relationships with other women. It was just that I grew up with no sisters. But I watched my mom and her sisters and my grandmother. They was like the crew, the posse. You know, they sit around the table and you knew something juicy had happened because everybody was
like that's the word, like it's the eyes
and all the cousins like, who did it? Was it me? Was it you? What happened? But you know, they were very close, and just watching that relationship growing up, and then just watching television and watching like Sister and the Girls on Different World and Living Single, and just seeing that camaraderie that can be amongst women. And the older I got, the more I wanted that, and that's what I attracted. And I think that's important to point out because what you want and what you are is what you attract.
Ooh, I like
and on that level, right? So I honestly like attract that type of woman that wants to hang out, that has honest, transparent conversation that has deep love and just authentic women, that just honor feminine energy.
And I love that. Like, because I always tell people I'm an extrovert, but I have so many introverted friends. And I just be like, how are you friends with so-and-so? And I was like, well, if you pull them out of their shell, they actually are a good time. But we have great conversations. And I think it's about balance because they kind of tame me. I'll be like, no, we going here, we going hard. And they be like, okay, we can go hard till about 9:00. And then it's gonna be pajama and wine time. And I'm like, okay, it's balance.
And I'm gonna need a nap before that too.
Baby, I always need a nap. I don't understand why that is not in the sister girl contract. At least a 30-minute to an hour nap before all activities.
Yes.
But so I was thinking about, after I read the book, I was like, oh, V didn't let go some of our secrets. You remember like when Think Like a Man first came out and they were like, oh, Steve Harvey giving up all the secrets on what men be doing. What made you want to give insight into the sister girl conversation?
Well, that's a good question. So I didn't really think that men were going to read it for me to be giving away secrets. But in hindsight, I should have like put a disclaimer or something. But I just wanted women to know, like, the conversations that you have with your girlfriends, the problems that you face in your life, none of that is unique. We all go through that stuff. We all have the conversations. We all laugh till we cry and cry till we laugh at Girls Night Out. We all have men issues. We all have faith issues. We all have job issues. We all have money issues. And some of us are better at some things than others. So if we can start being honest and transparent and start trading, bartering our strengths with each other, we'd be so much more powerful.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that because I tell people, I'm like, I've had friends that I've had for 30 years. I've heard friends I've had for my whole life. It wasn't until I honestly understood the sister girl relationship that I was able to be open and honest. It didn't matter the length of time. And I think people think like, oh, y'all been friends for 30 years. But if I can't have an open and honest conversation with the person, like what type of friendship do we really have?
Right.
And so that was one of my questions for you. Like, do people always ask you like the length of time you've been friends with a person? Does that make a difference in the type of sister girl conversation y'all gonna have?
I think so. And just to be honest, a lot of my close sister girlfriends will pull me back. Like, you jumping in a little too soon with that one. You got to feel her out a little bit more. Because I'm like, hey everybody, like, let's go talk. Let's go drink wine and talk. And some of my friends be like, you ain't even vetted her to see if like you know the secrets.
Did you look her up? People always think that women are lying. We do the best research. We are better than the FBI because my friend will be like, that one friend, I'm like, that's me. Give me a name. I'm like, I got a license plate. What can you do with that? I'm like, girl, hold on. Give me 10 minutes. And I'm like, because I was like, it's important. Like, I feel like with my sister girls, I'm able to let my guard down. I'm able to open up. I'm able to reveal. It's not that I'm walking around with the mask on, but you can't share everything with everybody. And I think that's so when I was reading the book, I was like, oh, y'all, we about to get up. I told B, I said, look, I done made little marks there in the book because I was like, oh, she done told this. Oh, she didn't told that because and I had to stop reading the book at one point, y'all, and call her up and just tell her, like, I cannot stop laughing. Like, I had tears in my eyes. I was waiting for Anissa in the car and I'm just like, oh my God, like I am crying, laughing. But then there were points in the book where I'm like crying because I've had those conversations with my friend and they've been tough and they've been difficult, but they've been worth it because they are my friends.
Yeah.
All right, now we're gonna get into this question because I don't even know why this was one of the first questions like I wrote on the book. But we talk in the book, you talk about sex and like different things that women talk about when they're talking about sex, like toys and positions and what we like and what we don't like. Do you think that women can have emotionless sex? Because me and my sister girls was having this conversation.
That's a good question. So generally speaking, no. Specifically, yes. Because there are some women that are not like me. You know what I mean? So me, like, I need to have some type. I can't do the one night stand. I can't do the I just met you, let's go. Like, I can't do that. But there are some women that can. And now, when you have been celibate long enough, anything can start to look desirable. So I will say that. However, I think generally because we are emotional beings, you know, so it just depends on what angle you're coming from. Is it a physical need that needs to be met at this moment that the rose is not taken care of, or is this a more emotional, like,
yeah,
I need that intimacy need?
When it's physical, I think women can check out, and I don't think people think that they can, but I think people don't also give women enough credit for sometimes you just need the physical. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just think that that's a man thing. And I'm like, I know plenty of women who are like that, like, hey.
Really? Plenty?
Yes. Like, and lately, and I'm going to tell y'all this little secret, y'all may not know, they in their 40s. Women in their 40s are like, I didn't expect, I thought turning 30, I was like, oh yeah, I feel fancy free. I feel like I could do this. I'm ready to take on the world. No, when I turn 40, I do not care.
40 was such a transition, and nobody warned me.
At all.
Nobody warned me. I felt it, like it. I felt it in my soul, like something is changing. What is it?
Your spirit changes, your emotions change, you physically are changing. And I think, like, we don't think about how that physical plays into how the rest of us is changing. So now you like, oh my God, like, am I going through menopause? Am I not going through menopause? Is it a hot flash? What is that? If y'all never experienced the hot flash, youngins, just wait.
They come out of nowhere.
Because you're gonna
slap fire in you.
I was like, it slapped the taste out of my mouth. I'm in the line, like, what's it hot in here? And why does it happen at the grocery store? Like, why are you in the grocery store paying for your groceries, and all of a sudden you sweating like you didn't got drenched in the rain, and you can't figure out why you on fire? So that's
when you get the slow checkout person that moving real slow, got to check.
You gotta talk to them like this. Can you hurry up? Okay, give me the ice. Give me the give me the Sprite.
Forget it.
You don't gotta put that in a bag. Just because that's how the conversation goes. And I was like, I love in the book that you talk about that, because I feel like that's the conversation we don't have enough of. Because I had to actually ask my friends, like, how do y'all know? Like, will we know? Is there a letter that's gonna come in the mail? Like, are we coming to part of secret sisterhood that they just can't tell us because we're not ready yet? And no women seem to know. And I was like, that's because we're not having the conversation. So I'll tell my friend, like, we're gonna talk about it. Tell me your symptoms so that we can compare symptoms so that we know.
We're also not talking to our moms.
No,
because that's a part of, when did grandma start? When did mom start? That plays a part into when you start. But we don't have those conversations at all.
Not at all. And I was just like, and even talking to the older generation about it, there's still some taboo and shame along with it. And so I think trying to get the answers from them, that's why I think it's important for our generation. Like, we may not have the answers from the generation before us, but we can at least open the door for our daughters, our cousins, our nieces to be able to have those conversations. Because I was like, we need to take notes because this is serious, because nobody knows. And all
I had hair coming on my chin, and I'm like, what is this rough stuff right here? I'm in the mirror, like, what do I nair this? Like,
and when did it get there, and will it go away?
No. And then it's too much for like a tweezer. You know what I mean? Like, I got to shave this. Like, I am a 16-year-old boy. I got to get a razor and get the little stuff to put all around here.
But for me, it was body changes, because people be like, oh, you just got to work out. You just got to eat right. And one day I was working out like a maniac, working out, eating right, taking the shakes, taking the diet pills. Then one day I sat down and I was like, you know what? It is what it is.
What it is.
I do everything I need to do to be healthy, to be heart healthy, to be smart, to keep myself up because I want to live. But if y'all think that this fupa is going anywhere, we married to each other now. We belong together at this point in the game, because I'm out here killing myself. I said I could pass out on this sidewalk trying to do some jumping jacks and burpees and stuff like that, and still had this fupa in the coffin. Y'all out, y'all.
Yeah,
absolutely
it's
not.
horrible. But they don't tell you about that either.
No. So getting back to the sex topic, because I told you I have more questions.
Okay.
For the ladies and gents, does size really matter? Because we talked about that.
Yes.
Absolutely does.
Yes.
Yes. And I think that people are like, oh, women have an expectation that it's supposed to be this big and this, and I'm like, no, but the size that that particular woman likes matters to her. I'm like,
absolutely. And not just size, but just like, oh God,
you can say it.
What? I forgot you did say this.
I'm gonna put the disclaimer on this. Yeah.
Okay, good. So you need to know. You need to be honest about your size, just not like I need to be honest about my fupa. Number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, you need to at least know what to do. Either number one, know what to do, or two, be willing to take some direction. In the same manner that if I'm doing something you don't like, let me know. And we can switch it up. Like, this is communication. We are the name of the game.
We are grown. So stop acting like you are upset and your ego was hurt because I told you go to the left and not to the right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But I think like men don't realize, like, you know what size breast you like, you know what size you like for a woman's bottom to look like. So why don't you think that we think about that? Like,
and if you swear you got a baseball bat and you come in there with a cocktail shrimp, you are a liar. Like, everything has now. You are
and the truth ain't in you, and now I know it.
And I can't deal with no liar.
Oh, can we? I didn't even write this question down, but can we please address? Stop sending those pics, because no, immediately no.
It's not what they think it is.
It's not giving what you think it's supposed to give at all.
No,
and it's in the group chat. It's in the group chat. So you should know that. It's in the group chat. We have discussed it and we are talking about you.
Yeah. And not gonna do nothing with what you said because you're nasty. Mm-hmm. If you just send that off rip, you sending it to everybody. You trying to see who gonna bite. It ain't gonna be me.
And I always wonder, I'm like, what do you expect me to do with this? Or what
right.
Because now I'm looking for evidence, like
is it really you? Like, show your face with that.
Right. Oh, why? You think I'm joking? My friend was like, now I require a full body. Like, I need to see everything because they could be sending anything because there's so many pics going around that you don't know. And so, yes. So we just letting y'all know for real, like, your pic is in somebody's group chat and we have dissected, and if she don't mess with you no more, it's a girl. It's like, girl, throw it back. But we as women have these conversations and we know how to have them on the slide. Like, I could look at you and be like, and throw my eyebrows up and something ain't right and we need to. Do you feel like men are having these conversations with their friends? Like, I want to know, I want to be a fly on the wall. Like, when they hang out, do they have in-depth conversations like we do?
In-depth conversations.
Like, are you telling your homeboy, don't cheat on your wife? You got a good wife at home. You ain't, know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not a man, disclaimer. So I'm not in the male conversation. But if it's happening, to me, it's not happening enough. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what age group, what maturity level it does start happening. Mm-hmm. What I do know is when I was married and getting cheated on, all of his friends knew and were still smiling in my face, eating at my dinner table, requesting food, playing basketball in my driveway, et cetera, calling me sis. Hey, but there were no conversations like, you might not want to do Valencia like this. You might want to do better for your family than this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So
I always wonder that because I'm like, y'all see y'all homeboys out here doing extra stuff.
Everything.
And the reason I think it came up was because we were having a conversation about men checking other men about catcalling young ladies. Like, I don't care what she has on. Why are y'all, even though you're not doing it, to me, your friends are your affiliation. So if you're affiliated with a person like that, you're just as guilty as they are. And so, they always say birds with feathers flock together, and they think that only applies to women, but I feel like it applies to men as well. So if you don't check your homeboy about,
Yeah.
that, then what does that say about you? So I was like, we were having a conversation, like, we wonder, do men check other men? Because if we real sister girlfriends and you out doing something that you're not supposed to, like you ain't taking care of your kids, your sister girlfriend's gonna tell you, like, if you met, sis, don't you need to be home? Because don't you got to be at school at 8 o'clock in the morning? And so I'm always wondering, like, do they have those type of conversations? Like, be a better father, be a better husband, be a better provider, because we do have those conversations with each other. And what you said, that has to be in trifling. We have those conversations.
I put that question. I have a column on Facebook on Tuesdays and Thursdays about relationships, and I put that question. And I remember this because the men got so offended.
I read your comments. I was like, oh, they coming out the woodwork.
Yeah, like I ain't seen you on no post I've ever posted in life, but here you are to tell me how wrong I am for questioning. Do y'all check each other? Do you all really have these in-depth conversations? And a lot of them say yes. So maybe it's a maturity level.
Or they maybe it's not taking their advice. Like
could be. I don't know what it is, but I don't see the evidence of it.
I told her, I was like, they just be co-signing each other's bullshit. That's all they be doing. Like, I'm just going, well, it ain't me. I'm not doing that. But like I said, when you affiliate yourself with somebody, because that's just how they do women. When women, and we are not beating up on guys, but this is the honest to goodness truth. If you have a friend that they feel is over sexually active and you hang with her, they automatically assume that's you. Or, if you're a wife and you hanging out with single, they automatically think you're doing single women things. And let me tell y'all, for the most part, we eat, we drink, we laugh, we dance. Y'all be thinking it be the men that be flirting with the women. We really be going out to eat, drink, dance, and laugh. That's on the agenda.
We get cute for each other.
Me and my friends,
we be in a group party. Like, are you wearing a dress or a pants? You wear shorts, you wear heels,
shorts. Like, me and our friends, we got dressed up for each other for Halloween. We all went as Jason, but different forms of Jason and different formal wear. And I was like, yes, this is so cute. But they thinking like, y'all going out and doing something. I'm like, this is strictly for us. It really, it is so that though, because your friends take your best pictures. You know what I'm saying? They know, like, hit that angle, girl. Do this, do that. Y'all don't take pictures like y'all supposed to.
I used to have a friend. I'd be like, okay, let's take this picture for me. She'd be like, click, and then walk away. And I'd be like, you are not a good friend. Like, you didn't even look at the picture.
You didn't even ask me, like, is this okay?
You only took one. Like, where we do that at? You got to take a couple and let me choose. And them type of people don't care about you.
They don't care about your life. And that right there. And so talking about that though, because so people will see you out with people and be like, oh, that's your girl, stuff like that. And I'm like, there are people that I hang with that, they like to do certain things and I'll hang with them, but they are not necessarily my solid foundation friends. And people thought it was so weird. I was like, I talked to my solid foundation friends about if something happens to me, what I want them to do with my kids. Like, I want our friendship to be so solid and for you to be so close to connect to my kids that if something happens to me, if they need advice, they'll be like, mommy knew so-and-so, and I can go freely talk to her. And I was like, that's how connected. I don't think people realize sister girl relationships are. For women who be like, oh, I don't get along with other women, or I can't talk to other women, I feel bad for them, because you need those women in your life that can step in for you.
Look, I told my friends, obviously, when my kids were younger, like, take care of them, look out for them, let them know, remind them that I love them, et cetera, et cetera. But I also said this: if I go before you, don't have me in that casket looking crazy. I want my nails done, and they got to be fake.
And please
don't have me up like this, because that's not cute. I want you to have me like this. Or, something where people can see my nails, have my makeup done flawless. You have me in something cute. Don't have me in no Easter Sunday suit, because that's not how I roll. Have a shoulder out or something. Okay? Have me in there looking cute.
and color my hair. If you see some grays, tell them to color it, because you knew what color I wore my hair when I was here. You knew what color it was. But
you know it's ruby red 22
all the time. It's 934, y'all, in case y'all. But I always used to tell my friend, like, if I get put in a nursing home and I can't remember to pick my chin hair. Like, don't let me go out with facial hair. And my friend's like, that's such a big thing. It is, because that tells me you care about me. Like, if I'm telling you that I don't want to be in the nursing home in the wheelchair with facial hair, you need to make sure it happens. And I was like, I love
crumbs on my shirt. Don't have me.
Don't have me out here looking like that. I think one of the best things I've ever seen is I was at Brio having lunch one day with a friend, and we saw these 6 Black women. When I say they were dressed up, silver hair, they had their purses out, their heels on, all their husbands had dropped them off. And she said, we do this once a week. And they were there. When I say these little old ladies was talking about everything, like I wanted to join their conversation, because it lets me know that we're going to be doing this for a lifetime. Like, it isn't just like, you find that sister girl connection. And it was so, I was like, can I get a picture with y'all? They like, come on. I was like, I'm about to kick it with them. I'm up here having drinks with you, but I want to kick it with the older people. They were talking about everything. And I was like, so sister girlfriends last forever. But I want to ask you, what does it mean to stand in the gap for your friends? Because I talked about this maybe, I want to say like 10 shows back. It was a Grey's Anatomy episode where one of the women had been raped, and she was afraid to go through the hospital because she didn't want to interact with any of the male doctors. And every female in that hospital, from the doctors to the janitors to all the workers, came and stood in the hallways and made it so that she didn't have to view any male. Like, they just like, so that she could be escorted. And I was like crying. I was like, I know my kids are like, she is crazy. But that's, to me, even if we're not friends, that you thought enough of me, that you knew what another woman felt like, that you would do that for her. What does it mean for you to stand in the gap for your sister girls?
Listen, I am my sister's keeper. It's as simple as that. Whatever you need, if I have it, it's yours. If I don't have it, we're going to figure it out. If you low on faith, I got you. If you low on money, I got you. If you need a break with these kids, I got you. If you are, raped or molested or whatever, like, I got you. I mean, to me, it's as simple as that. And I don't care if we haven't talked in 2 years or if we just talked earlier today. If you need me, I got you. But here's the thing with sister girl friendships is that for as much as I have you, you have to allow me to have you.
Amen.
You have to be, we keep going back to the word transparent and honest, but those are 2 big things. If you can't say I'm hurting or I need or this happened to me, then how will I ever know how to help you? How will I know? And to me, relationships, what I'm learning, I'm 41 now. I can't rock with friendships like that. I've tried.
No, we can't be honest with each other. It's too much. It's energy draining.
It needs to be a two-way. It is energy draining, but relationships need to be a two-way street. So just like I talk when I'm going through something, you need to talk when you're going through something, so that we are able to deal with each other and help each other. But if you're a stoic stone all day, all night, I'm not going to try to penetrate that wall at all. I'm going to let you do that because it's too exhausting any other kind of way. Your relationships, your friendships, whether it's romantic or, friendships, the last part of that is ship, right? It's supposed to take you somewhere.
Oh, I like that.
If we're just sitting here and you're not sharing and you're not opening up and you're not, that's not a friendship. No. That's not a friendship. If anything, you collect the data
to use when, and what you trying to do with this data. The one thing I like about my friendships now is that we ask each other, is this a safe space? And do you have the capacity to tell me what I might be dropping. Because let's face it, we could be friends and I could be a friend. But if I'm going through something and you going through something, and what you're trying to drop off is going to drain me, because sharing feelings can be draining.
Yeah.
But sharing space with people can be draining. No matter how much you care about them, no matter how much you want to help them, it can be draining. And I was like, when my friend, we were in a group chat, she's like, is this a safe space? And I was like, I'm like, yeah. And everybody's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. She was like, well, do y'all have, the space for me? Because she said, I really got something on my heart. I need to say. And I had to think about it. Like, girl, wait, hold on. Let me get back to you. Let me check my mental capacity today, my emotions. And I was like, that's one of the most caring things I could think you could do for a person, is to be like, you had a space for this. Because so often people will call you up and dump off their stuff. They're fine, but now you're carrying the weight of what they were going through.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Empath. I always tell people, I was like, because something can happen and I will carry your emotions for the rest of the day. You'll be fine. You'll be out weekend, having a good time, cheering.
And you be at home like
on the couch, trying to figure out your life. But also your friends won't do that to you. You know what I'm saying? Your real friends won't just drop off their dirt. Like, we'll sit with it and figure it out. And I really like that, because you mentioned that in the book. Like, when you were going through your divorce and your friend was like, you don't got to be alone, girl. Come on over here. But come and stay on my couch. Because when you're going through something, I don't think people realize sometimes, you want to be alone, but in those moments that you don't, you really need people to come through for you.
Yeah. And isolation, when you're going through something, is a dangerous teeter-totter, because you're either gonna slump off into some type of depression, or you're gonna, for me, I'm a believer. I have faith. So for me, the other end is to just work on my faith muscle and work with God on my issue. But it's literally,
it's a value.
Either or.
Yeah, it's a fight, because it's like, okay, I have this, I have that, and dealing with, and what I don't think people get is like, you're a sister girl, you're a mother, you could possibly be a wife, you know what I'm saying? You're all these things, and so you're trying to balance all these things and who you are as an individual person. So you need people that understand, like, okay, she's all these things, but she's still Valencia. And so we need to create the space where she can just be Valencia. And I was like, I love, like, when I was reading the book, I was like, yes, y'all create that space for girl, because who want to be going through that? As you brought up divorce, let's talk about it. Like, for most of my friends now, like, marriage is no longer the goal. It's like, I want to be in a space where I can be in a relationship with someone where I can have intimacy, where I can have transparency, where I can be my authentic self, where I don't have to worry about what's going on in the world, because they are a safe space. Why do you think that is the transition now? Like, marriage is no longer growing, because people were like, Lori Harvey, she's toxic. But I was like, is she really toxic?
No, she's smart.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, or right, is she smart for realizing that marriage may not be what she wants to do?
Well, let me say this. Number one, marriage is not the goal, because who are we marrying? Who is out there right now that ain't already married? Who is out there? Where they at? Where do they meet? The other
they having drinks and cocktails and dancing with their friends. We just need to figure out the club.
That's probably what they are doing. But I think the other reason why marriage is not the goal any longer is because we don't know a lot of happily married people.
Say it again.
And I don't say that lightly, and I don't say that to be sarcastic, but a lot of people are realizing that marriage is hard, marriage is work, and a lot of people are happy doing it. So a lot of people don't want it. For me, I would love to be married again one day, but it would have to really be right, and Jesus would have to come down from heaven and sit with me quietly and kind of whisper, like, okay. because it's a lot. It's a lot. And divorce is even harder. For as hard as you think marriage is, divorce is harder.
And
so
yeah.
It's a lot.
I get that part because people are always shocked. I was like, I was married. They're like, you were married. I'm like, yeah. I was actually married for like 13 years.
Found that out too.
I was actually married for 13 years. And so when people find that out, they'd be like, and I was like, it was really probably before I started all the, internet stuff. I just kept a very private life. But then when I got divorced, it was like, okay, it was starting a new journey, and what that life looks like different. It was different. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have, at the time, my friends threw me a divorce party. We did all these things, but I didn't have anybody to have intimate conversations about what I was really going through. Like, like it's like the death of something. And so there's a grieving process. So people try to take you out, and well, for me, take me out, show me like doing all this. It's like we go up to clubs, you can get another man. And I did not need that. What I needed was a moment to sit in this and realize my new normal and how I was going to move on from there. And so it took me going to therapy to be like, okay, I can't have these conversations with them. But then it also showed me a reflection of our friendship that I couldn't have these conversations. Like this was a serious point in my life, yet I don't feel comfortable having these conversations with you. What does that say about our friendship? And so when I was reading in the book and you were talking about the conversations you were having with your friend, I'm like, I'm so glad that other women had that. Now, granted, I got married when I was 18, 19. I was 18. And so when I did a lot of first in my friends group. So I was first to get married, I was first to have a kid, I was first to own a home. So it was a lot of first of all, I can't fault them. Maybe they didn't know how. But as we got older and we were opening up and having relationships with each other and viewing each other's outside of our relationships, the conversation never got any deeper. And so it was very surface conversations. I knew after experiencing that, I was like, next friendship that I'm involved in, I need to be able to go deep with these people because that's what I need. I need that capacity.
Yep. I agree with that. I was the first in my friend group to get married, have kids, get divorced. But to my friends' credit, and this isn't just sister girlfriends, because I had a couple guy friends that I've been friends with since college. They all rocked with me. They didn't know what to say, but we're here. And I think I referenced in the book when I was talking about when, your friend or you have a miscarriage. And I referenced Job because in the book of Job, as we all know, he was going through it, right? And when his friends were just sitting there with him, it was cool. But when they started to talk and they didn't know what to say, so they just started talking out the side of their mouth, it only made stuff worse. Sometimes your presence is all somebody needs in that moment. When you're grieving, when you're at a loss, and I don't know what to say, I probably shouldn't say anything.
I'm here.
But I'll be there. I'll be there. And my friends really were that for me during that time. They didn't know. They didn't know what to say.
And half the time, you don't want anybody to say anything anyway. You just want to know that if you need somebody to say something, there's somebody there. And my friends will tell you, I'm good, honey. I will bring a blanket over your house, a cup, some snacks. I will be on your couch, knocked out. Just wake me up. Whenever you're ready to talk, just wake me up because I always want to be present for all those moments. Like I've had friends who've lost their mothers, their grandmothers, you know what I'm saying? Like they've experienced loss. And even though I might not have experienced that loss, I still know how to be present. I still know how to, be a shoulder to cry on, or what do you want to cuss somebody out? Go ahead, cuss me out. I can take it today. I'm having a But I think that's when women say that they don't know how to. So let's go back to that. When women say they don't know how to have relationships with other females, it really gives me pause, cause for concern, because you don't know how to have a relationship with somebody that shares the same, y'all alike. We you know what I'm saying? So what do you think when women say that? What do you think is at the heart of that issue when they say that?
I don't want to answer this. I think two things. At the core, at the core of that woman, there is hurt from something, which leads to, mistrust, but also some immaturity or something that you need to check in you.
Mm-hmm.
Because why can't you find anybody that you can relate to in your demographic? I don't something's going on there that you really need to check. And a lot of times I believe it has to do with jealousy. Mm-hmm. Or, like I said, immaturity. But it's something, because there's no way. It's like 60 gajillion people on this earth,
and you can't find one woman
that you can relate to. I don't subscribe to that theory. I don't think it's the other women's fault. I think it's yours.
So let me tell you, I just finished reading Oprah's book, What Happened to You, and it made me look at
good one.
It's going to make you look and question things differently for people. I will say that it's like a lot of if people aren't used to reading texty books and stuff like that, then you may be like, oh, it's boring. But it does give me pause to ask a question, like not what's wrong with her, like what's wrong with her that she can't find other people, but what happened to you in your life? So rephrasing that question, like what happened to you that you don't get along with other women? Because there's something there. And I was telling people, like, I would stop using the word trigger, because trigger leads you to believe, what were the cues that happened? Because there's something that's cueing you up every time you are in this situation or somebody approaches you with this type of relationship. Like, what happened to you? What hurt you? What caused you to do that? So instead of thinking like something was wrong with that girl, like what happened to you? But most people don't want to be honest and answer that question. So if you can't be honest and answer that question, my thing is like, you won't have a good friendship with me, because I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. I'm gonna tell you the day, the time, the event, all the people involved, what color the grass was on that day, what nail polish I had on, because I want to be open with people. I want people to, I feel like it's an experience. Like when people got an experience. So
yeah.
I want you to have joy and happiness. And I don't want us to live in this space where we're always upset and angry. And most of those women are like, oh, I can't get along with other women because they do X, Y, and Z. And okay, so that's what happened to you. Somebody caused you pain, or they made you not able to trust them. Their loyalty wasn't to you. And so I was like, I think more and more now I'll ask that question, but I'm gonna be the first to tell you I'm not gonna subscribe to your bullshit. And so if that's the attitude you're gonna keep it over there.
And I believe every word of that.
I ain't telling people, like, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. That's what it is for me. That's just all it is. Now let's get on a lighter note. Okay. I don't know why men don't know that shoes can solve every problem a woman has. Because let me tell you, if you buy me the right shoe, I will be your best friend. What is your favorite type of shoe?
My favorite type of shoe is a heel. I love heels.
How many inches?
At least 4.
Because if you wear lower than 4, it's a baby heel.
It's a kitten heel.
Shoes. It's a kitten heel.
But now I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if it's being over 40. I don't know if it's being in the panini that we have been in. But if I put them on, I need to sit down. I can't walk.
They are strictly for fashion. Do not ask me to walk.
I can't bend over. I can't do nothing but sit here and look cute.
I'm about to teach y'all a lesson. You know who had it right? Sandra from 227. Everybody laughed at the way she walked. And then I think I was walking one day and somebody was like, you walk just like her. I said, honey, it's balance. If you put your hands out like this and you just balance, you will not fall. You will not be in pain. You need to get to a seat. I'm not saying don't get to a seat, but that Sandra walk allows for balance, honey. You can scoot your way on. And I'm more of a, well, back in the day, I'm 4-inch heels now, but back in the day, I was like 6-inch heels. I love my heels. I love them to death. But I've also come to love canvas shoes now as well because I have to move faster sometimes. And so I'm like, but I'll be a heel girl for the rest of my life. I already know. I'll be a little old lady in a wheelchair with my heels.
With your heels.
It's just something about them, but I love shoes. I don't know what it is. I love the feel. I love the look. I love it's just something about it. And I'm big on purses too, I will say, because then like my one friend's like, shoes is okay. She only wear like tennis shoes. Maybe that's it. I'm not really a sneakerhead, but she is big on purses. As I said, that I'm looking around my room and there are like 20 purses in here.
Yeah. I love shoes. I love purses. I love all things girly. Whatever is feminine and girly, I'm into. So yes. And my mother used to always tell me, when you look better, you feel better. And that is the truth. Because you could be down and depressed in the dumps. But you go buy some shoes to put on some makeup or, put your lips on or something. You start to
go
feel
out
a
the
little
house with
better.
your lips. As soon as I'm like, put them lips on, the game has changed. Like, she don't need lashes. I'm like, the lashes are not for you.
Right. They is for me.
I want these lashes on because I want to bat my eyes. Like I want to look in the rearview mirror and be like, look at you.
Yep. You start to feel better.
Yes, it's something about it. Like it perks up my day. And so in case y'all didn't know, shoes, purses, lashes, all things girly will, you can't go wrong. Oh my God. So we're gonna wrap this up in a minute. But I have a few more questions. And y'all, I'm gonna be posting my questions that I didn't get to ask her from the book. So I want y'all to go pick up the book and then go look at my notes and be like, oh my God, thank you. Because I'm telling y'all right now, y'all gonna have the same questions that I have, and y'all might even go deeper. So let me know as well. Reach out to me so I could be like, oh, I didn't even think about that, because the book is so hilarious and real and just all things sister girl.
Yep.
Now that we've been moving into like we're in a panoramic and we've been in this panoramic for a long time, it feels like I see more and more women, especially women of color, African American women, talking about living a soft life. What does your soft life look like? If you have to imagine it or if you're living it right now, what does that look like to you?
That's a great question. I think a soft life for me is working with my passions, what I'm purposed to do, so that it doesn't really feel like work, and less stress. I think as a single mom, unless you are a single mom, you don't understand the level of stress that's on your shoulders every day. Even when your children are older, there's still so much stress. And for me, a soft life would include some kind of help. You know what I mean? And when I be praying about that, I be like, Lord, I just need some help. Wait, I'm supposed to be the help. Like you said, I'm supposed to be the help. But I think if I could be in a situation where I have help and where I'm able to be in my purpose without unnecessary worry, without unnecessary stress, that would be great. Soft life for me is also time, of course, with my sister girlfriends, because that refreshes me and rejuvenates me, especially in dealing with a stressful situation. Other than that, I don't know. I'd have to really think about that.
I've thought about it. And
what about you?
Like, I've started living my soft life because as you said, as single moms, we go so hard. And I know how V works, and she works how I work. So I know we go hard. No matter what we do, it's like we want the project to be complete. We want it to be good because it is our passion. But in my soft life, I'm like, I can still be passionate about something, but still give myself grace. So even if something doesn't come out perfect, you know what I'm saying? I know that I didn't slack in it. And so I can be complete in that. I was telling my sister this morning, like, I had been waking up at 5 o'clock and taking a walk. You know, that was gonna be my exercise. Yes, and
that ain't my soft life.
You know what? It started to be that way for me. I started in the panoramic because I needed to get out of the house because we was all trapped in the house. And I take a walk and I learned my neighborhood, different streets I can go down, to different houses I wanted to look at. And the wind at that time of the morning hitting your face, it just wakes you up, everybody. It's just something about me and Jesus and the dog having a conversation that it just feels good. Well, this morning I was like, I don't feel good, but I said I was committed to doing this walk thing. And so now let me get up. So now I'm getting up with an attitude. Like I didn't say my prayers and meditated, but I'm getting up. And I was like, girl, this is your soft life. So if your soft life is soaking in the tub this morning versus taking that walk, like changing the narrative for myself. And like I said, mainly giving myself grace. Like not being so hard on myself when things don't necessarily go the way that the plan. You know what I'm saying? Like we all have a plan, but if things don't go the way it's planned, it's okay. It's okay for things not to always go as you think they should. You'll be okay. And so forgiving myself and being patient with myself, like that's my soft life. Like I would love to get help one day, but I was like, I don't know if I would be even willing to accept the help. Like y'all don't clean up right. Y'all y'all don't do right. But it was more a reflective journey for me to be like, okay, you can take care of yourself. Everybody will be okay. You take care of yourself. You be gentle with you. You be forgiving of you. And so I'm like, I get my flowers. If nobody else gets them for me, I get them for myself. I'm not waiting for you to give me flowers. I have my wine and I love charcuterie boards. And you know, I just do things that I know bring me joy. That bring, like you said, like I think I reached out to you one time. I was like, you said God said I could live in my joy, and this is what brings me joy. And I was like, the more I started to do that, I see that the reflection of my life changed. So even the way I treated people were different. And so I was like, it's me. It starts with me. And then once I get me together, then I could be a reflection for everybody else. So I'm like, now don't get it twisted. I'll be like, you know, pray with me, don't play with me. I still got that. Thou shalt not try me.
Oh, we know. We know.
but but it was a matter of not letting society dictate what my life was going to look like, how much I had to work, how much money I had to make, how many hours I did X, Y, and Z. It was really like, take control. Like, if this is your life, you're going to let somebody else tell you what to do with the one life you get. And so, yeah, so put that in part two.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's very inspiring. Like, my mind is going now. That's very inspiring.
You can have that. But I love it. And I love how you end the book, because let me tell you, y'all gonna cry, y'all gonna laugh, y'all gonna go get y'all wine, y'all gonna call up your sister girls and be like, did you think of this? But you say, I can't wait for the moment I can call up my sister girls and say, hey, guess what? I met a guy. And I was like, that starts so many conversations, like just things that we don't think about. Hey, y'all, I'm in a guy. That means the text message and the chat about to be crazy. It's about to be phone calls. Y'all don't understand. It's about to be charcuterie boards. It's about to be wine. It's about to be so much going on. Outfits and everything.
Outfits. About to dress up for this.
Wait till you see. And so I just really love that you took, and I want to say thank you that you took the time to put this together for us, because I feel like this was for us. It was like your love letter to all the sister girls, and I felt it in my spirit, and I am just really blessed to know you in real life, but to also be able to be on the journey of being a sister girlfriend and purchasing and reading your book. So you guys, for all your book clubs, y'all go get the book, read it with your sister girls, and have a good time. V, do you want to drop your information with us? How can people reach out to you, contact you, and where can they get the book?
So the book is available everywhere, and I'm always so excited to say that, because I used to walk through Barnes and Noble, and now my book is in Barnes and Noble.
Amen.
And I used to walk through Target, and now my book is in Target. So, you know, Target, Walmart, Books A Million, Barnes and Noble, anywhere you buy books, or through my site, which is veejoyful.com. It's veejoyful.com/the V Shop. The book is available there. It's also available on my publisher's website, writingvibe.com. But anywhere and everywhere. My information on Facebook, I am Valencia Joy. On IG, I am V Joyful. Twitter, Queen V Joy. And again, my website is vjoyful.com.
So I want to thank you, Sister Girl, for coming on and having this conversation with me.
I loved it. Thank you so much.
It's going to be behind the scenes conversation because we can't drop everything. Some of this got to be, PG-13. But thank you so much. As always, you can catch me and the hottest kids on Nanika. That's NANEKIA.com. And for the ladies, you can go over to Just One Hot Mom, where we will drop that fire, that flavor, that heat, all things saucy from around the world and in your neighborhood. Thank you for tuning in, and I will talk to you guys soon.